your position is that Israel's working for us in the Middle East.
Israel is 100% working for us in the Middle East.
So how many of their representatives do we fund? How many of their representatives do we fund?
Probably a decent amount, actually.
Do we have a equivalent of AIPAC in Israel?
How much money does the U.S. give to Israel every year?
Military-industrial complex.
And you think that money is not used for propping up their government?
That money is used to return back and buy our congressmen.
It is absolutely a component. See, that the issue with the hyper-focus on Israel is it ignores all of the other operations the U.S. is doing, as if Israel is dictating our policy on Greenland and northern Canada.
How many of our congressmen are pro-Israel? How many of our congressmen?
All of them?
Pretty much.
Indeed.
Minus 6 who don't get any
How many of them are
funding from
pro-Ukraine? All of them?
Same problem.
Did
Same problem.
Did Netanyahu go like, I want you to all, we're going to take over Ukraine too?
Who's the president of Ukraine right now?
The president?
Well, the guy. Who's the guy?
Do you mean the prime minister?
I don't give a shit.
Volodymyr.
What's his name?
Volodymyr.
Zelensky?
Not Vladimir, but Volodymyr.
Right.
Yeah, indeed.
He's Ukrainian?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not going to be honest then?
What?
Well,
The
do we
dude is
want
from
to do
Ukraine.
an early life check on Zelensky? Do we want to do that right now?
Is he not from Ukraine?
Oh, he's from Ukraine.
Okay.
But does he identify as Ukrainian?
Yes.
Does Benjamin Netanyahu identify as Polish where he's from?
No. Does he? I don't know.
No, he doesn't.
So what?
No, he doesn't. There's a point, and you know what my point is.
Your point is that Zelensky is Jewish.
That's correct.
And
so, look at that. We're fighting 2 wars on behalf of this small, tiny group of people.
Well, I mean, not to challenge you about
what's going on with the Ukrainian Orthodox Church.
Not to challenge. Hey, Leonarda, not to challenge you about whether or not Zelensky's Jewish, but like the U.S. didn't initiate the war in Ukraine. Like Russia invaded.
Hold on a second. What did Russia say? They said if you keep setting up your NATO bases at my border, we're going to go in, didn't we? And we were like, you mean like putting it right here?
But listen, Putin was after Ukraine forever. They look at Ukraine as part of Russia.
Well, because there's a huge part of people that overlap that are both they speak both Ukrainian and Russian, and there's a huge group of people that actually identify as Russian.
So let me ask you:
it's besides the point, because I actually don't think we should be involved with either one of them.
Indeed, and so the issue I bring up when you mention that you don't
like Texas and Mexico.
Here's
overlap Russian-Ukraine. Texas and Mexico.
Yeah, well, now we've got Mexicans trying to do Reconquista.
Watch your ass.
When the oligarchs
real quick,
up.
I want to answer the point you made about when I'm talking about Islam and literally in the Hadith saying the end will not come until the tree and the rock say there's a Jew hiding behind me, come kill them. There's 1.8 billion Muslims?
Oh, first of all, if you want me to defend Islam, you picked the wrong girl.
Because I
100% think
I'm not asking you to defend Islam. I'm making the point that
no position in the West.
You're comparing a nation of what? How many people are in Israel?
There's like 14 million.
14? No, it's not that much.
No, I'm talking about Jews in
the diaspora itself is 14 million, but Israel itself is substantially smaller.
Well. Hold on a second, because it's forbidden to take an actual census in Judaism. It's forbidden to take that. They base their population based on active synagogue participation, actually. So it's less than that. No, so
Mary and Joseph went to the census. That's why we're there.
14 to 15 million is based off of active synagogue participation.
So in 2026, the population of Israel was between 9,500,000 and 9,650,000.
Look, it's irrelevant.
Real quick, do you think Zelensky was put in there by Jews?
Absolutely, 100%. Because I have a gut.
No. I'm saying, like, why did they put him in there?
Well, I think they want to build a little pathway between Israel and Ukraine and have that control, and also
what control of what?
I don't know.
This is the issue. Can I learn you some things?
No. Actually.
Okay, then I won't.
No.
Then I won't. Far be it from me to tell a woman what to think.
Absolutely not. This is the age of pure retarded womanhood, and I'm going to take advantage of that.
I want to know when
You've been doing a good job.
When the Cold War ended and they split up the Soviet Union, whoever the oligarchs were that decided the new borders took that part of the Ukraine away from Russia, gave it to the Ukraine on purpose because they wanted to disempower the new Russian country, take away its make sure it didn't become the hegemon in the region, and give it no access to the Black Sea. So they took away Sevastopol and the Crimea. They gave it to the Ukraine. Probably, money guys, oligarchs. I don't know who they were. Let's find out. And Russia's like, bro, we can't get into the Mediterranean Sea. It's like if they took off a partition on the west coast of the U.S. and gave a little strip all the way to Canada, all the way down the coast. You think we wouldn't invade to take Pacific Coast access back, we would. And so the Russians want their Black Sea access back.
They do, and to be fair, it's not like I want Russia to have that, because Russia, I'm ethnically Albanian, and Russia empowered a bunch of Serbs to go into my country and start genociding my people. So I'm not necessarily like pro give Russia access to the Black Sea, but it's kind of disingenuous to say Russia just invaded Ukraine out of nowhere.
Well, no one's saying that, but I'll tell you what I think. I think that the military-industrial complex was facing a big challenge in the 2010s, and that was you look at the rise of Alex Jones.
They couldn't figure out how to make more money.
No, they couldn't control people like Alex Jones, who were actually starting to, aside from the more wacky things Alex does say, starting to actually crack through their psychological operations. And so it got to a point where at the end of the 2010s, the information was leaking at an alarming rate, especially with WikiLeaks, and they could not control it with the internet. However, what you just said about why Israel wants a corridor to Ukraine is like, I want to try to refrain from being mean, but like made up internet BS, right?
Listen, all I peddle in is made up internet BS.
Well, there you go.
So if you're not going to let me
the
bring what my field of expertise is,
like Candace.
Well, first of all, Candace is doing a better job. Shout out, Candace, dude. Hook me up with your fucking production team, because I can spin a yarn. And second of all, I don't think everything Candace is saying is wrong, but she gets a little wacky.
Oh, man, a little wacky.
Look.
She claimed my brother tried to kill me, and people believe this stuff.
How dare you speak out against a powerful black woman? That's all I have to say, okay?
Well,
this
you've
is
never seen
that
this show before.
Old Asian, African tribal warfare that's going on right now. You're half Korean, right, or something? Is that
quarter?
Well, we're gonna go.
And magically, we learned through DNA that 5% Japanese, if you know what that means.
What does that mean?
The rape of Nanking. Look it up. Yeah, Japanese were crazy.
Koreans don't consensually have
dude.
part Japanese in them for the most part. I love it because Japanese people get really mad at me when I say that. I'm part Japanese. You can't do anything about it now. It's what you get.
That's correct, Sensei.
Okay, so real quick, for the listeners at home to understand why the Ukraine war happened, it's because there's a series of countries the U.S. wanted to overthrow for a variety of reasons. One of the principal reasons for the Ukraine war is the Qatar-Turkey pipeline, where the U.S. wanted to build an oil pipeline through Iraq, through Syria, Turkey, into Europe to offset Russia's Gazprom gas monopoly. They control 20% of natural gas into Europe through Ukraine. Bashar al-Assad told the United States, sorry, I won't let you do this. We are allied with Russia. They have a naval base in Tartus. So this
is the guy in Turkey.
No, this is Bashar al-Assad in Syria.
Okay, all right.
And so the U.S. then went, he's a terrorist who needs to be killed. And then Barack Obama started sending weapons to the rebels, which eventually become ISIS, destabilizing the region in the hopes that Assad will get removed from power and then we can resume the construction of our natural gas pipeline. The principal issue is that for Europe to get energy, they principally have to get it from Russia, who charges a lot of money for it, which gives Russia economic power and it gives them negotiating power. It had nothing to do with Israel, it had nothing to do with Zelensky. The issue was that
so how does Zelensky, a fucking transvestite comedian dancing in leather chaps, get elected?
USAID.
But come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's less than 2% of the population, and this is who happens to get elected?
No. I mean, Barack Obama represented less than 3% of the population. He got elected too.
Well, wait, are you saying he represented less than 3% because he was mixed race?
Yeah.
Well, that's not the way people saw him.
No, of course, I agree.
So he represented
less
every,
than 13%.
He represented every non-white and every self-hating white.
Sure. The point I'm making is that the United States wanted, I should say the Western powers, we call it, Europe and the United States, wanted to take, so when we couldn't get the pipeline through Syria, the alternative to that is to control the access point. So you get the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline, which was Russia's delivery mechanism into Germany, because Donald Trump was pissed off that while we're trying to get cheaper energy and we're fighting Russia, Germany's cutting deals, effectively financing the war in Ukraine, which the whole point of was to get cheaper gas. If we can get Ukraine, and we can cut off Russia from the Black Sea through Sevastopol by taking control of Ukraine, then Russia is going to be severely detrimented economically. And
let me ask you
Russia
something.
invades.
Why couldn't they just get an ethnic Ukrainian who wants this also to be the prime minister?
Because I think only people like you care about the Jewish background of Zelensky.
Whoa.
You people.
You people.
Well, first of all,
yeah.
He's talking about women. He's talking about women. He's talking about women.
Listen to Candace Owens.
Albanian. women.
Well, I don't listen to Candace Owens. I can't afford her premium subscription. I just see I see the clips like you, dude.
Tell more jokes.
That's true. Just the clips.
You know what?
So
You keep it up, and I'm gonna make sure your other need doesn't
but
work.
no,
too.
hold on. Like, here's a question for you. Like,
crawl everywhere.
when Israel set this show up, why did they get a Korean person to do it?
Listen, you're obviously quite intelligent, Tim, and
It's the Korean.
you have decided to ally yourself with the forces of evil, and and that's okay.
wild.
And
Are you talking about the Jews?
Everybody thinks you're wearing a beanie because you're hiding a yarmulke under there.
I am.
I know that it's because you have two horns. You don't want anybody to see.
No, they
Could be a bald spot. Could be
No,
a
it's
bald
complete
spot.
and total baldness.
Could be a bald spot, he said.
I think the danger
Yeah, it's just one small spot.
of Zelensky being Jewish is it's a correlation, and there is no evidence that anyone did anything. So to speculate sort of
Listen,
poisons
I have
Aren't
something
you
called
Jewish?
no. Yes. And so I hate myself. No,
That proves it.
I have low IQ anti-Semitism. You understand? And this helps me steer my life correctly. Just like low IQ racism, right? I see a Mexican and I go, I'm not getting raped today. And I cross the street. Now, the Mexican might just be a normal guy, right? But
He also could be a cholo.
he could be a cholo.
Yeah.
And
But watch your
this
ass.
has helped me in my life. So you're not going to take away the only weapons of self-defense I have.
Wait, hold
all
on.
right?
Did like
What
a
all
Jewish
this
guy
do?
try to rape you or something?
Oh, listen, I grew up in the Bronx. Everybody was trying to rape me. Okay?
That's
was
actually
going good back in the
this is
day.
important. This is actually how women think.
Young bloomer,
First
early
of all,
bloomer.
this is a true story, okay?
Getting that Bronx finger going.
This is a true story. I grew up in the Bronx in an apartment building. 3 doors down, I had a pedophile little pedophile neighbor who started stalking me from the ages of 8 to 11. Looked a little bit like you there, Tim. Bald
Was he
head.
Korean?
No, he was just bald head. Looked
Turned
like
12, lost interest.
druggy guy used to come knock on my door and be like, hey, can you open? I was a smart little kid, so I was like, oh, my mom told me like a lot of people are gonna want to
Stranger
rape you
danger.
because you're a good looking
You were
kid.
like, no, I won't open the door because you're Jewish.
And-
he
and-
was like, damn,
He was Jewish.
that proves it.
So that's where it started. So now
Acidic?
no, he wasn't.
no.
He was a non-functioning, but here's the thing.
Non-functioning.
His
not
parents
practicing.
lived in the apartment before him. They were the nicest old Jewish couple. They were so sweet to us. And then he moved. His dad died,
Raised
and then he
a better
moved
ass.
in, and his mom ended up like aging crazy within a year of him moving in there and dying. And then he started trying to rape me. So
He was poisoning
my
her, most likely.
opinion on all of this is there's a couple different psychological operations we've seen through social media manipulation to get people to support war. And there's also foreign adversaries that try to manipulate social media. There's a lot of weird stuff going on that I couldn't begin to even understand as to why. For instance,
is this going to be about Candace Owens again? Because I feel
it
like
could be if you want it to be.
Did you guys like break up or something?
We
going
were
on?
never friends.
Really?
Like I knew her.
she's been on the show before.
Yeah, we were on the show a couple times, and I was like, friendly. But if you want it to be about her, then I'll
No,
shift.
I don't.
Too late. She brought it up.
Don't.
Too late.
Just go down the path.
Why is it that she's allowed to break all of YouTube's rules and get put on the front page?
It's because she's black, dude. There's different rules for blacks.
She's
Because
kinda-
nobody really
she
listens
is kind
to
of hot,
them.
too. She's kind of hot.
The other question
All right,
is,
we'll just take it easy over there.
why isn't Erica Kirk suing her?
Maybe it's a little WWE
Have
style.
you seen some of the things people have been posting on Threads and Blue Sky about Erica Kirk?
No, I'm
Yo,
not. I
women
don't
are
go hang out with
nuts.
gay people.
She just got invited
Women
to
are
join the government.
insane,
Did you guys
bro.
see that? She's gonna.
Yeah, she took Charlie Kirk's seat on the board of the Air Force or something. of the
Listen,
Academy.
whatever you think about that situation, you got to admit it's a little weird that your husband gets publicly executed and then you're like in leather pants doing acrobatics with freaking fireworks going off. Everybody's going to feel a little weird about that. Maybe everybody does grieve differently, but they do grieve, and it's a little weird. So
Maybe a little?
I'm not
What are
going
you
to go
saying?
down. No,
What are you saying?
I think seeing your
no.
husband
I
get his
think
jugular
It's
blown
not
out's a little weird
maybe
too.
a little. It's a little
No.
weird.
You said it was a little weird, and I said, yeah, a little. And then you said no.
It's like extremely weird.
Oh, it's extremely weird.
It's quite weird to watch that and then just go, okay, yeah, I guess this is just everybody does things differently. It's weird.
It is.
She's in such a high stress situation. I can't blame her for any.
But
weird.
I don't even like my thought of the matter is she's like probably on Xanax. It's just
No.
like
Well-
when I hear hose, I think horses,
That
not
could
zebras.
do it. That could do it.
It-
That could do it.
and what do you think you do when you watch your husband get his head blown off?
I don't know because
probably take
that
Xanax.
was that wasn't even my husband, and that was fucking traumatizing.
Indeed, I and all my friends. I mean, it was insane when this was going on, and everyone's trying to figure out what's happening. I say this with the utmost respect to my friends at Turning Point USA and the people who hate me there. That I'm not trying to be a dick, but I think it's fair to say that a woman who watches her husband get assassinated probably got some mood stabilizers. And so people are like, why is she acting like that? I'd imagine if you watched your husband die publicly being shot in the throat, you might be on an antidepressant.
Yeah, but it's also got a little bit of the
Jackie
mega
L,
church
she got some too back in
pastor.
the day. She was
And
sitting
so
next
people
to
are
him.
like, why is she acting that way? I think like women are all on antidepressants and they haven't even witnessed their husbands getting murdered. So it's like, why is she acting that way? Because she got prescribed a mood stabilizer.
Or just stress. Stress will make you fucking crazy.
I think one of the problems we have right now in this country is that the Democrats have always been the party, not always, but I would say at least in my lifetime, they've been the party of the masses are really dumb, so say whatever you have to say so that they vote for you. And Republicans have been it's a mixed bag. Many of them are also doing the same thing.
I mean, George W. Bush, right? That was
Indeed.
the era
But
of-
the problem is Republicans were always slightly smaller than Democrats. So there was a decent amount of middle of the road people that were hard to swing. And those are your independents for the most part. And so negotiating with them is tough. If you're trying to get support for a war, then you're going to go lowest common denominator. They hate us for our freedoms. And you'll get a little bit on both sides, which makes you bigger than that middle of the road that can shift things back and forth. So when I see I got to be honest, like this really low tier, like Zelensky's a Jew stuff, I'm like, man.
That's not even the thing.
I've
The real thing is why we've been at war in the Middle East since the foundation of Israel. We did not go to any wars with the Middle East before the
Are you
foundation
familiar
of
with the
Israel.
Barbary Wars?
It doesn't matter.
There
Let's
was
move on to
conflict.
what I'm talking about. And every single one of these wars has been championed by Mr. Miliyowski, however you say his actual real name, Benjamin Netanyahu. And
Benjamin.
honestly, look, I don't want to see Americans dying for something that doesn't have anything to do with them.
That's not true.
And yes, it is true.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is true.
No, it isn't. It's completely wrong.
Okay,
and my point earlier
it's not
was
completely
I've been
wrong.
tracking this stuff like basically my whole life since the Iraq War. My whole life has been entrenched in the politics of these things. And then all of a sudden, some retard goes to the internet and says it was Israel the whole time.
Hey, I've been a
I'm not talking
retard
about you.
even before I was on
I'm
the
talking about
internet.
higher profile individuals who are going on big shows and being like, it's actually Israel the whole time. And I'm like, hold on there a gosh darn minute. We had a major conflict with China over the Nicaraguan canal. That was not Israel. But the Israel people don't read at all. They never read. They see a meme online about a rabbi and then they say a nasty thing about the Goyim. And they're like, well, now I'm angry. I'm angry for this reason. And I'm like, you are allowed to hate Israel. That was always allowed. But the love of God. Can you talk to me about
Actually, you're
Panama?
not.
Can you talk to me about Greenland? Can you talk to me about Taiwan?
Wait,
Can you
wait,
talk
wait,
to me about...
wait. Wait, how many
Hold on one
states-
second. It's worth noting that like the entire aughts, right? The entire time between like 2001 to 2010, everybody was saying that the war was for oil. It was all about just getting the oil. It's all about the oil.
No blood
and
for
now,
oil.
Yeah, no blood for oil. And now the modern thing that's going on is, it's all wars for Israel. And it flipped. That was a real change.
I know what you're talking about, but at the same time, also, if you remember, a lot of people were saying that Bush did 9/11, and now a lot of people are saying
People didn't start
Now
saying
the
Bush
Jews
did.
at 9/11
now they're
because they're
saying
retarded.
now they're saying Israel had a hand in that.
Yeah, because they're retarded. Saudis are being sued over their involvement in 9/11, and they were protected by the U.S. government. Why? Because we had the petrodollar contract with Saudi Arabia, and we don't want to lose. Basically, it functions like this. Saudi Arabia, one of the largest oil producers in the world next to Venezuela, agrees that if anybody wants to buy from them, they have to use U.S. dollars, which means China has to buy U.S. bonds, U.S. dollars before they can buy oil. So when the Saudis are implicated in 9/11, the U.S. says, we're going to cover this up and protect you. However, they weren't able to completely, and there's an active lawsuit ongoing over Saudi involvement. And the reason why these people are being protected is because Donald Trump is desperate to re-up the petrodollar contract, which ended, I think, a couple years ago. Which means China and Russia are going to start trading in other currencies, and they already have been doing this. And so the response, and I'm going to tell you this, the Iran war, we predicted it a long time ago. We talked about it endlessly. When the petrodollar contract with Saudi Arabia ended, I said, we are going to get a Middle Eastern war right now. It's going to be largely at their behest.
June 9th, 2024.
Indeed, because we have to get back on this contract. Otherwise, the U.S. economy crashes. And so I will just say this as to the issue of Israel. By all means, criticize their ideology, criticize their government.
There's 38 states
it's
that
fine.
have anti-BDS laws. They're passing anti-Semitism bills against the First Amendment.
Now tell me about any of the other bills they have that are comparable for other countries.
How many states have you can't say anything about China? How many of them have
How many?
How many?
You don't know?
You tell me.
You made the point. So you tell me what these states are doing.
You tell me, because you don't know. None of them exist.
No. You don't understand how this works. If you make a point and I ask you to elaborate on it and you can't.
There are zero states that have you can't criticize China laws. Correct?
You're sure?
Correct.
I don't know. You made a point. I'm asking you to elaborate.
Yes.
Look it up.
Yes,
All right.
that's correct. There are 38 states that have anti-BDS laws. Are you kidding me? I thought this was the country of free speech. I thought this is the country of free association.
What do those laws do?
They make it so that if you work in the government, you cannot protest Israel. You can't boycott them.
If you work in the government?
That's correct. If you're like a government contractor.
You mean if you're a private company that does government contracting?
That's correct.
You can't boycott Israel.
That's correct. You can't boycott Israel.
I disagree with that.
So that's why you can't just be like, oh, people are just crazy.
No, they are, though.
No, hold on. You can't just be like, oh, they're just seeing Jews everywhere.
They are.
When there is literally laws that protect Israel in a way that don't even protect Americans. Like here, fucking Texas, okay? There's a little tiny city of San Marcos, which is so small, okay? Every state, every city makes a contribution to Israel. San Marcos was going through their budget. They realized, holy shit, we're giving this much money to Israel. It wasn't a huge amount because they're tiny. And they go, you know what? We got potholes. We don't want to do that. So we object. You know what Governor Abbott said? We're going to withhold any funding from you if you do that.
Sounds like a Texas thing. So
it's not just here.
So the point, we don't disagree on that issue. The issue is you've identified a circumstance which is objectionable.
That's
and
correct.
then extrapolated all other foreign policy to this thing.
Check the answer out. I asked the chat. It says there are no U.S. states with laws that prohibit speaking critically about Chinese. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects freedom of speech, including the right to criticize foreign governments.
That's not BDS law, though.
So I
That's not
replaced
BDS
the
law.
word China with Israel. Yes, there are 38 states. It tells you, and the reason you can't criticize China because of the First Amendment. 38 states, you can't speak critically about Israel. So,
check this
sorry, Tim, I didn't want to waste time with this.
BDS is relating to government contracting with Israel.
I'm sorry if I don't like the erasure of American freedoms, freedom of speech being the number one, because I'm a fucking comedian and there is shit that they canceled me for, not about Israel, other
that's all
racial
wrong.
jokes, right? And people actually feel like if I say something that offends their sensibilities, they have a right to physically attack me. Now you tell me how we're supposed to go forward as an American country with freedom of speech and liberty when you literally are training 50% of the population to think that violence is a perfectly...
You carry a gun.
So do they.
What violence are you referring to? I missed that. I'm sorry.
Well, I've made jokes that have pissed people off, and I've literally had people send me death threats, say they're coming to my show and they're going to kill me.
Yeah, you're a lightweight. You're a fucking lightweight.
I know you said that, but what I'm saying is,
I think the Ukrainians control everything.
So that's happening on an emotional, social level. But then our own government is actually passing laws to make your freedom of speech.
There are people.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.